Hello, hello. My name is Paulo, and welcome to the Legal Scalpel, Episode 1, my reintroduction. So, I am an RN currently working in medical devices, and in fall of 2026, I'll be starting law school. I am living in Puerto Rico. Was born and raised here, half of my life in Puerto Rico, half of my life in the States. Currently working in medical devices. The department is ortho, and to be more specific, within robotic surgeries. I've worked in healthcare since I was 19, so I started off as patient transport, then I went to laboratory assistant within the same hospital. I left that role, went to Puerto Rico to study nursing, left, went back to the States. I was a PCT for a while at the hospital I previously worked at. Then I went to an independent outpatient clinic, worked there for a bit, then moved back to Puerto Rico and became an RN. And then somehow, within a couple months of being an RN, I landed a medical device role, so that was very exciting. Little fun fact about me over here, as you can see my trajectory, I was an RN, MBA, and now law school. I've actually dropped out of 3 MBA programs. Honestly, I have a passion for business, but I've realized that what I want to do within the scope of business, I don't necessarily need a degree for it. So I left that program and now I'm pursuing my law school journey since I always knew that's something I wanted to do. Something extra right here. I know what it is to feel rock bottom or to hit rock bottom and feel like nothing's ever going to get better. Trust me, I know the feeling. In 2020, something broke inside of me, and I say that in 2025, something died. I'm trying to get myself out of that hole. I'm trying to build a life that I want, and that's where we're gonna go back to the quote that's on the top of my notebook that says, "Build the life you dream of." Sometimes we wish for better outcomes in our life. We wish, we dream, we daydream, we think about, we're just hypnotized, we're delusional, delulu, as I say, as the people say. But we're not going to be able to reach that life we want if we don't put in the work that's necessary to reach that level. We need to put in the work. Everything in life needs to be earned. It's very rare and honestly barely non existent that things are going to fall in your lap. You can't say, I want a beautiful house, a nice car, and to be comfortable if we don't put in the work for it. So, build the life you dream of. Put in that work. So, I know what it is to hit rock bottom, but I'm putting in the work to be able to reach my goals that I want to personally. Another thing is I'm currently on a weight loss journey. So since last year I've lost around 50 pounds. I need at least, I'd say, 50 to 70 more pounds to go where to reach the goal that I want to be at, to be physically at the best I could be. And then just going off of BMI, I know that's it doesn't fall for everyone, but yes, I want to be within that BMI index category. Just trying to be a little bit skinnier, trying to be a little bit more skinny. And then also the self improvement journey. Let's see, around 2 months ago, I'm pretty sure I was manic and I bought like 12 self improvement books. I'm currently on number 2 since reading is not my forte, but I really do need to get in the grind. I enjoy reading, I'm very distracted and I like to brain rot a lot, so TikTok takes up a lot of my time. But yes, so I'm currently reading book number 2, just in case I have it right here with me. Book number 2 is The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. I probably butchered that last name, but this goes back to building the life that you want, building the life that you dream of. It all starts off with positioning yourself mentally and maturing to the point that you know how to take care of your finances. So I do recommend this book, the book of The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. So it's recommended. Besides that, probably one or two of you might remember that I started off this podcast in August 2024, I believe. At the time, it was called Vitals and Voices, but I did actually change the name because I stopped posting for a while and I noticed that when I came back, probably 9 months later, there was an individual using my podcast name, and she started her own following, and that kind of discouraged me a lot. Moral of the story is, oh, besides that, not only a girl was using my name, but also a university started using my podcast name for their segments. So that kind of sucked. Going back to what I was saying, moral of the story is, if you have something you cherish, you love, it's a business idea, something you want to make sure that it's yours and forever will be yours, take the legal steps necessary to protect yourself and your business. So when I started Vitals and Voices, I was like, yeah, I'm going to trademark it. I'm going to trademark it. I never did. Sadly, I never took those steps. I didn't protect myself. So now that name is being used by other people. I just kind of gave up on it. Honestly, I could have probably pursued it legally, but that's in the past now. We are the Legal Scalpel. Welcome once again. I'm happy you're here. I came back honestly because I knew that I want to create a beautiful community where I can just talk about my experiences when it comes to just me yapping about opinions, topic on different type of topics, my opinions on the healthcare system, not only in Puerto Rico but also in the United States and around the world, and also this new journey I'm starting about being a law student. This is going to be something very interesting, and I want to share with the world, especially with the younger generations to come, that hey, a minority Puerto Rican that comes from a low class family is able to create such an amazing life with effort, determination, and hard work. So I want the younger generations to see what I was able to accomplish or what I'm accomplishing right now. Not only the younger generations and those to come, but also past generations to see like, hey, this kid is putting in the work. I know there's when it comes to Gen X, boomers, whatever you want to call them, there's a misconception of newer generations don't put in the work to be able to be successful as they were when they were younger. But it's kind of hard to quantify it when the economy has changed so much, and then you are so unwilling to just see the difference of how it was 50 years ago compared to how it is now. So yeah, I want to create a beautiful community. It's going to be an intersection of yapping, healthcare, medical devices, and law. Besides that, future topics I want to talk about is paying off debt. So, for those that don't know me personally, I am a shopaholic. I really do have an addiction to just wasting money because it gives me that dopamine that I need to feel some type of happiness in this world. It's a horrible excuse, but honestly, I do have a shopping issue, especially with Amazon. But yes, so future segments, I'm actually going to be deglossing all of my debt. We're going to be breaking it down, and we're going to be creating a plan on how I am paying it off slowly but steadily. Hopefully, the plan is to pay it off by August, September, around there. Then I'm going to start saving up for a surgery that I want to do. Hopefully, I'm able to get the money, acquire the money by December, since I'll be in law school, and that's on really the only time I'm going to have off to do the surgery. Go fly out, do the surgery, come back to Puerto Rico, and then the recovery process that's needed for that. Also, book recaps. So, like I mentioned, I have this one of the books I'm currently reading right now, The Psychology of Money, and slowly we're going to be deglossing them, my thoughts over them, what I learned, what I actually feel like it helped me grow as an individual, and how I can pass on these tips to other people without you having to actually buy the book and read it all. So I want to do some book recaps, also some reactions to take. So sometimes, most of the times, I come across some crazy takes on TikTok, and very interesting what people, well, their opinions and their reactions and how they speak on the topic is very interesting. So it's going to be once in a while I'm going to be downloading some videos, and we're just going to go over the videos, what I think is an opinion, what we're going to be talking as subjective, and I mean, I guess objective as well, obviously. But if there's facts and they're taking it as opinions, we're going to be breaking that down. We're going to be seeing it from both sides. So we're going to be playing devil's advocate, putting myself in their shoes, seeing it and talking about the take from my perspective. And then also, I would really love if that on every single episode, I get people's feedback, and just also if you want to put in your take and your opinion within the reaction 100%, please do so. If I'm wrong, please let me know. If the creator is wrong, please let them know. If there's a misunderstanding, if there's something we can improve on both sides, just write it down in the comments, because honestly, that's the whole point of building a community. Not all of us have to think 100% like similarly. We just have to get along and be able to talk things out. Like I mean, not everyone's an adult, but just be able to civilly have a discussion and have proper decorum. Also, we're going to be reviewing healthcare policies in Puerto Rico and the United States globally, how that impacts patient care, how that impacts staff members, nurses, doctors, techs, anything within the healthcare realm. We're going to be just yapping when I say opinions on daily interactions. Things that I come across on my day to day. Honestly, it's going to be kind of like a vents rants type of situation. Just to give you an example, what I'm going to do for next episode, I was picking up a package at an Amazon pickup center, and there was a couple in front of me. She had 8 packages, and the husband had 14 packages to be picked up. She was insisting on opening up every single package in the front desk, where there's only one employee handing out packages. She wanted to open every single package up and make sure that everything was correct and everything was in prestige condition, like nothing was damaged. So, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, being inconsiderate. The husband looks at me in the line, and then he says, "Hey, let's do this in the car. There's other people waiting." The lady literally looks at me, looks at the lady behind me, so at the line, and she looks back at her husband and says, "They can wait." Like, it's disrespectful, it's inconsiderate, and you're not aware of your environment right now. You're like unconsciously unaware of the social situation in your environment. So just things like that. How slowly, I guess people are losing that ability to respect their surroundings and those around them. Just rants like that. The truth about medical devices, 100%. A lot of people say they want to get into medical devices because it might be fun. There's a lot of money to make within this field and industry. Yes, that's 100% correct. But medical devices is brutal, and it will eat you alive if you're not prepared for it. So I want to make sure and talk and prepare people for the that actually want to get into this space, and have just interviews with individuals that are currently within the space and want to give their opinions also on their take, because I live in Puerto Rico, so my experiences are very different from those who live in the United States. And that's also just going from state to state, everything can change so much. So imagine from Puerto Rico to US, and then how much it might be different from those in Latin America or those in the United Kingdom, in Asia. Everything changes so much, and culture has a big factor to do within those changes in the work environment. Nursing in Puerto Rico, I can't wait to talk about my nursing experiences in Puerto Rico in the coming episodes, because honestly, it's a nightmare working as a nurse here in Puerto Rico. People, honestly, those nurses in the States don't realize how good they have it with all the policies, regulations, and the Board of Nursing protecting them. Well, debatable, but also the laws that there are to protect nurses in the States, comparing them to Puerto Rico. Just to give you a little quick preview about what I'm going to be talking about when it comes to that. As a new grad nurse with 1 month of training experience, they throw you to the floor with 15 patients on med surg, or they throw you to an emergency department specializing in chest pain with a minimum of 12 patients. Absolutely insane, something that should never be done. So we're going to be expanding about that in the future. And also, as a new incoming law student that's starting in a couple months, I want to talk about preparing for law school, what I've had to do throughout the transcourse of just starting brand new, throughout the semester, throughout the years. I am in an afternoon program, so it's going to be 4 years instead of 3. So we're going to be talking about that, just my law school journey, yapping sessions. Just we're going to talk, and we're going to talk a lot, especially if we have comments from the viewers, from our subscribers, from people who just want to know more about the community, about me, about my experiences. We're going to be talking about a lot. And hopefully in the future, I'm able to bring friends and just other individuals onto the podcast so they can give their opinions, they can talk, they can express themselves freely without any repercussions. So I do plan on bringing other people onto here. And then also, anything that you might want to see in the future about this podcast, please let me know. I will be more than happy to start posting things, talking about topics I probably would have never thought about if someone had suggested it. So make sure to just drop some comments and not even comments if you want to leave feedback on things that I can improve on within the channel, within the podcast. But if it's on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, things like that, please do so because I'm always up for constructive criticism. Besides that, something very important I want to say is throughout this whole podcast at the moment, I've been speaking in English, but I want to leave it very clear that this is going to be a Spanglish podcast. I am puertorriqueño, nací en la isla, he vivido mitad de mi vida aquí. So there's going to be times where I'm going to speak in Spanish. I'm going to be speaking both English, Spanish. Guests that I'm going to bring might be primarily Spanish speakers, so we'll be talking to them in Spanish, but we'll make sure to have subtitles so you can understand them. If not, somehow we'll have a way for you to understand them. But yeah, so this is going to be episode 1, the recap. I'm very excited to build this off and kick it off, and I can't wait to see the legacy we're going to build within our community, this beautiful community that I envision that we're going to have. So thank you so